We welcome you back to Hershey Park Arena on the Pennsylvania Public Television Network. Shel Siegel, Larry Sheridan, and Marv Walensik bringing you the action. Now at 1:45, Dave Thomas from Waynesburg High School, District 7, on the mat against Ben Keebler from St. Mary's, District 9.
Team score right now, Shikellamy 67 points, Nazareth 65, and Connellsville 64. Nazareth still having a wrestler left, and Shikellamy still having a wrestler remaining.
Here's another Elk County wrestler, Keebler, but
two-point takedown immediately goes for Dave Thomas of Waynesburg.
The supervisor of officials, Dr. John Osage. And the assistant referee is Francis Jordan of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
John Osage said he will do only one bout tonight, and it will not.
Fred, you got to get back on that elbow.
It will not be the heavyweight bout.
Just a caution. Back on the elbow.
That's after he did the Melvin Crosby, Tony Samick bout.
Was he the ref in that one?
He absolutely.
Oh,
he did it. He had not done a bout through the whole thing, and he said, "I'll take the last bout." And
that was
what
a classic heavyweight battle a few years ago. More action on the woodwork than the mat.
Waynesburg wrestler maintaining top control. He placed third last year, but the year before was a state champion, Dave Thomas. So he's been in this weight class before.
Wayne Fodorski is the coach of Ben Keebler at St. Mary's. Got a shot at him a moment ago.
More Elk County guys. Bridgeway, St. Mary's. Bridgeway in the AA, St. Mary's in the AAA.
Dave Thomas of Waynesburg, the wrestler on the top, has passed the century mark some time ago. 119 career wins, 11 losses.
Thomas winning this weight, now I don't know if it was this weight class because he was an 89 state champ, but the only repeating or the returning state champion is Jeff Waller coming up at 189. Again, we're going back to check that cut.
And we pick up the action now with 1 minute remaining here in the first period. It's a 2-0 lead after the injury timeout for Dave Thomas of Waynesburg.
And hold it. Be careful. That's your second caution.
Dr. John Osage, the official in charge.
Second caution again. Now, next time it'll be a point, penalty point.
See, that's no different than the heading match. He starts up, he's trying to get himself some leverage. The other man is hanging into him, driving to try to pick him, and you can go off. It's not that they're charging for the mat.
Nearly out of bounds, but control still rests with the wounded wrestler from Waynesburg. He's leading at the moment by 2.
That was an interesting maneuver. Looked like Thomas was out of bounds. He just kind of stood up, and although he was completely out of bounds, and he pushed Keebler away and turned around and nearly had a takedown.
Kind of foxed him a little bit.
Good tight waist ride by former state champ, 1989, Dave Thomas.
"19 seconds to go. It's 2-0 lead for Dave Thomas of Waynesburg. He's a senior. Ben Keebler is a junior.
Just presented some free Coca-Cola. I thank. I'm a stockholder. I don't care what you tell the FCC.
Good stuff. 2-0 lead.
It's wonderful to be here again in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is one of the real family entertainment capitals of Pennsylvania.
Third and final
Great place
period
to bring
on
the
the way.
family in the summer. See Hershey. Well managed, well run, and again another great tournament here in the Hershey Arena.
Line up now and hold it.
Controls been an easy escape, really, coming up there for Thomas. He now leads 3-zip.
It's the second period, Larry.
Well, I stood up and got over the top of that thing, and now it's easy to see where the clock is. Why they didn't push it over another couple of yards, I don't know.
Keebler has got to go to work here now. He's down 3-0, and he's reaching for that shot from way out. And Thomas is very active. Thomas has quick feet.
Nice
beautiful
arm drag. Countered nicely, though.
Yeah.
Keebler just... I've been waiting for you to say Keebler's a tough cookie, but I gave up on that. You missed that one.
I sure did.
Thomas coming around, and he's no muffin, right? Don't give me that. Thomas gets the takedown, now leads 5-zip.
And you're out.
I was going to say that, but I thought it was too ridiculous and obvious, so neither Marvin and I bid for that one, Larry. Here's the takedown coming up.
Good morning, Shell.
Shot.
5-zip.
Just holds that arm and spins around. See, Keebler's out of position. He's overcommitted, and he's taken down.
Wow. He is really a strong kid on that top position, Dave Thomas. That tight waist, he just drills him to the mat.
Well, look at his arm. The other thing is, Larry, he uses leg leverage. He has a back leg driving off it when he comes down.
Kind of like a Mike Brown used to do when he wrestled for Leah.
The arm and then drive with the leg.
I had many a wrestler tell me when they wrestled Mike Brown, it felt like he had a figure forearm with an arm.
Well, we have now wrestled about 22, 23 bouts between the AA and the AAA, and we've had only one pin, and if you had to guess who got it,
Red, you just hang
and you hadn't read the
that.
papers, you'd probably say it was Cary Kolak, and it was.
And I'll tell you something funny. You know, he did get the Outstanding Wrestler Award. We left the air at the end of the AA. Before that it was given, but we assumed it had to be him because he pinned a former state champion. And he pinned him in the first period on some real clever maneuvers. But can you believe it? About 100 or 200 fans booed when it was announced. You know, I question them, and, you know, I love to see these fans here, but I question their mentality when you boo a guy who pins a former state champion.
Well, it's
Outstanding Wrestler Award.
They're always
and has a record of
99.
Yeah,
has a record of 99 and nothing.
So you boo him.
There are always some people who are jealous of success. They simply cannot stand overwhelming success. I think when he wrestles, he turns the mat into the Kolat Archipelago. And you're a prisoner of this guy right there. But here right now, Dave Thomas is doing an excellent job, and he has the St. Mary's wrestler, Ben Keebler, off balance, and Ben is kind of struggling to find a pace here. Can't quite get his rhythm going here to get some action.
2 minutes to go in the start of the last period. 5-zip lead.
Well, if Keebler's going to do anything, he's got to go right off that whistle. He's got to think, blast out and score. He's going to stand up. He's got to stand hard and pull the hands down. If he's going to do anything else, short sit. There he's come up. Turn back into him. Now Keebler's trying to turn. He's trying to turn over, but he can't get enough leverage, and they're off the mat.
Lock.
Yep.
1 point.
You
Green.
touched him there on the side. Okay.
So it was a locking hand situation. Scored now 5-1. Penalty point coming on the locking hands. You can't lock hands around the body while you're down on the mat.
Keebler intensifying.
Unless you're in a pinning combination.
Keebler's got to stay away from that edge. That's no advantage to him.
Red, you're using that as a ride. Red, you're using that as a ride.
Those are the gentlemen who do a lot of the work around here, and they'll pick up the mats, move everything around from left to right. At one time, there's 4 mats out there, and very quickly there's 3, 2, and eventually the one in the middle. And those are the guys that really move everything around here at the Hershey Park Arena and do a fine job.
We've had a second point awarded here.
Right, he had been warned earlier.
That's right.
And now referee felt that he was using that tight waist
We
as
got
a
a
ride.
5-4 score here now.
No.
Oh, now they're back to 5-2.
Calm down.
They moved it all over the lot.
See, they feel he's using that as a ride, and he takes him down.
I don't know. Somebody's right in front of it. It looks like it's 5-4 to me.
Okay.
It's 5-2 on.
Says 5-4. Why
Unless
would
that
that be?
scoreboard's wrong, it says 5-4,
Take it.
and there hasn't been any move to correct it.
Look, he had a penalty point on the stall, on the locking hands.
Right.
If he gives him one on the stall, how can it be 4?
I don't know.
I guess that would make some significant difference whether that was right or wrong, Marvin.
I don't think it in a sense, if I was
It did go back to 5-2, and then it would jumped up to 4 again.
I don't see anybody objecting to the score. Of course, the coaches may not be aware of it.
Okay, take it again.
Okay, well,
1:11 to go.
We'll have to find out.
In any
about
event,
that.
it's Dave Thomas of Waynesburg is ahead with about a minute to go here.
If there's an error on the scoreboard, then the chief timer must address the people. He's got to tell them. If there's something wrong with it,
We'll see what happens if any other points are scored in this closing moments.
Okay, very good. Back to the center.
But no one has made any complaint about it, so we must have missed something.
Well, I just talked to 5 people behind me who are very knowledgeable in wrestling. They don't know anything about the extra points.
Keebler has got to, absolutely. He's got to sit, turn, move. He cannot do that. There he's trying to. Kick the leg loose, fire the arm back, Larry. He cannot let him take control of that arm. He's got to fire it. And he's not doing it. He's just got to if he intends to have a shot to win the match, because Thomas is an excellent, excellent rider.
And the way Thomas is riding, it looks like it's not going to make a difference whether it's 5-2 or 5-4. He just is totally in control, riding all the way with 31 seconds to go.
The edging strategy now cannot happen. He's got to stay in that circle and make this move. Got his feet together tightly. Thomas mounts. There's the tight right around the arm. See, let him take that arm right away. Maybe we just got the half in.
And he is trying to do something with the half. He's not using it as a ride.
Time running down.
We got down to 12 seconds, 13 seconds.
Go try to get out, too.
Well, on the grounds that the score I'm going to use is 5-4, I'm going to accept it wherever the mysterious points came from.
Take it.
Maybe when we watch it again, we can figure it out.
There in the center of the mat. Here comes the
There's
switch.
a reversal.
Well, he's got 2.
With 8
now,
seconds
is he
to go.
ahead 6-5?
I think he is.
Yep, 6-5. All happening in the last 5 seconds.
Well,
And I don't see any complaints, and we got a victory here for
great win for Keebler if he won. Where did we miss the points? That's a mammoth win for Keebler. He stayed in the center of the mat finally, fired his arm and switched them. Thomas worked his... Joe
And
Harris
that definitely was it. We missed it, and it's a...